Mokgoro Enquiry. Sipho, good evening. Advocate Lawrance Mrwebi coming out quite strongly to deny allegations that were leveled against him in the case of Jackie Selebe, saying that he didn't even know him and he met him once, I think.
Well, a very good evening to you, Nzinga, and our viewers at home. Indeed, Advocate Lawrance Mrwebi sounding very confident, and that has been his attitude throughout this inquiry. It's been going on for several weeks right now. And speaking to him on the sidelines, he's always said that he's looking forward to an opportunity to give his side of the story. So pretty much sounding like a man who believes that he has not done anything wrong and that he is a victim of perhaps a political conspiracy that is a political conspiracy from within the NPA. But certainly, yes, today he says that he has never tried to protect Jackie Selebe from prosecution, and that he does not even know Jackie Selebe except from having known him through public, through means of media. Another issue, of course, that came up because he was responding to all of these allegations that the witnesses had put against him. And now one of the other allegations is that when Mrwebi was heading, that is the commercial crimes unit of the NPA, that the allegation was made that he had failed to move on what the NPA refers to as foreign bribery cases. So there it suggested that he was perhaps incompetent to deal with these complex foreign bribery cases. So he says that actually that is not the case, and that the reason that he does not seem to have a good track record in foreign bribery cases is because foreign bribery cases are rather complicated because you have to cooperate with other countries, so you depend on other countries to actually have a good track record. Now, of course, the big issue there with Mrwebi is that controversial decision to withdraw charges against a former crime intelligence boss, that is General Richard Mzuli. Now, Mrwebi stated very strongly that he believed his decision was correct in law and that the Mzuli case at the time lacked enough evidence to enroll it, and that he would take a similar decision if he was put in such a position. And this has been his stance throughout, saying that he was not politically protecting Mzuli, and that he took a decision that, of course, he believed was in the interest of justice and was the correct one. But of course, if you speak to his former colleagues, such as Glennis Breitenberg, or if you speak to Willy Hofmeyer, his current colleague there, the NPA, they say things differently. They believe the case should have been enrolled, and you let the court decide if there is sufficient evidence or not. So those are some of the issues that he tackled. Of course, another recent one was the issue of alleged bribery that he received from Bosasa to stop a possible prosecution of Bosasa officials. And there again, he denied that, saying that he had never received any monies from Bosasa. He has never met people such as Agrizi or the middleman in this case. So certainly he just denied any sort of wrongdoing and just painted a picture of himself being a victim of a possible political conspiracy within the NPA in Nzinga.
Sipho, what else is going to come up at the Mokgoro Enquiry?
All right. So, of course, now what has happened today is that Mrwebi has taken the stand, but his partner in crime, so to speak, that is Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba, the deputy head of the NPA, who's also suspended alongside Mrwebi, will be taking the stand to give her side of the story. Now, mainly see Jiba as the big fish in this inquiry, of course, because she was once promoted by former President Jacob Zuma to act as the NDPP, that is the head of the NPA, in 2012. And that is where some of these controversies have come through in terms of the Boysons charging in KZN, in terms of allegedly protecting President Zuma from facing prosecution in terms of the spy tape matter. So a lot of issues have been said regarding Jiba, suggesting that she was there to protect a lot of political interests, especially she was tied a lot to the former president, President Zuma. So she will be taking the stand. I think it's going to be quite interesting because Jiba is normally media shy, does not often address the media herself. So we will be hearing her side of the story, speaking out and addressing these issues in person for the first time. So it should be quite interesting to hear what she has to say.
Sipho Stearman, who's following the Mokgoro Enquiry in Centurion, giving us updates all the time. Thanks so much for your time this evening.